Welcome in, campers. It is your camp counselor, Julie, with PhotoFabPaperFlowers, or PhotoFab Julie, as our camp director likes to say. Welcome, everyone. It is day 3 of Flower Camp 2024. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Stephanie. Welcome. How's everybody doing today? Hi there. Oh.
I got my volume way off.
Hey, Sherry. Welcome in.
We're on
Day 3.
Okay.
Day 3. Day 3, friends. What a night last night, or was, with all 3 tutorials from your fabulous camping staff and an end of night social. Oh my goodness. Hi, Jill from hot California. Stephanie, I'm doing well. We're sorry for the delay. Hi, Vanessa. Welcome in, everybody. Flower Camp 2024. Oh, I'm so glad. Needed those last. We were happy to bring them to you and brighten everybody's day, and I'm still laughing at the videos. You gotta love Snapchat.
Yeah.
Hi, Kathy. Welcome. Sherry's on her way to rescue me from those zanies. Funny thing was, I was the one who started opening up Snapchat.
Oh,
and
yes,
then you opened. Hi, Diane. Welcome in. Welcome, friends. Hi, Tina. Sharon, welcome. Sharon loves the big eyes and mouths video. Hey, Kim. Oh, my gosh. I was up super late. But such a fun day. So we cannot wait to start off our day here. So thank you for tuning in. We know it's midday for some of you, maybe at work. So we won't tell them where you're at. So we do appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with us. So immediately following me, we will head over to Forever Petals by V, because she will be making a large flower using template number 9. So template 9 was designed by my friend V at Forever Petals by V. So we will, we made the mini flower version from that large petal. So it does come with 3 centers, 2 different leaf styles, which are super cute.
I really like them.
Yeah, so they will give you some different options to use in your projects. So if you haven't seen them, here they are. Hello, Jeanette. Thank you for joining. Oh my God, why didn't it copy? And we're just going to copy the link. So our template bundles are still available in our Etsy shops. They are both 50% off.
Oh, I was going to post your link. Are you doing that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought I had it on copy.
Me too. I went to my clipboard and I didn't see it.
I'm like, oh my God. Okay. Sherry, my tools are offline just because I am out of state right now and I don't like to have it available and I can't ship them. So they will be going online. And yes, I do offer different mat styles, and we are going to come out with a Flower Camp 2024 mat, which I need to order them probably today, because I think they were on sale. So thank you all for joining. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're making a 4-inch flower today, and it's quite a lot of petals and layers. Hope I can follow my notes. We'll see. I have like 2 different sheets. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So thank you again for all your love and support over our week of flower camp festivities. And we are just getting started. Like we said, we're only at day 3. And tomorrow is your last day to register. What time did you say?
9 p.m. Central.
9 p.m. Central for our in-person workshop here in San Antonio. And you also are invited to attend Huntopia at the San Antonio Botanical Gardens. And it's free on Saturday.
Yeah, lucky
They knew
us.
we were coming.
I know. They're like, you know what? Flower camp's
Yeah.
going to be here. We're going to make it free for everybody.
For sure.
We just found that out yesterday. So if you do plan on joining us this Saturday, it's open to anyone that wants to join us Saturday morning. You don't need to buy a ticket. You'll just arrive and then you sign at the kiosk.
So we'll figure out where we'll meet.
Yeah.
Now the weather is a little iffy today. We did have a monsoon when we were out for breakfast.
We had a light rain.
Yeah. Whew. The poor person that was in the handicap parking spot, his car is like covered with water.
Yeah.
His feet would have been soaked, or she. Hi, Cindy. Hey, Christy. So we are going to go ahead and get started. The tools we need today are our dowel rods. We do need a piece of 18 gauge floral stem wire, because of the super skinny center that we're using. So I just keep a little piece handy around. We need our trusty Julie dowel rod, which is skinnier than 1/8. We need our 1/8 inch dowel rod, which is your purple one, as we noted on our color-coded chart. We also need our blue 3/16 and our olive green 1/4 inch dowel rod as well. We need our flower shaping mat, some precision scissors. These can be purchased at your local Dollar Tree, and your mini dumbbells, as our camp director says, or a ball on a stick. However you want to describe it, we say metal ball stylus, but we'll let him go with how he wants to describe them. And we need our hot glue gun. So I'm using the Surebonder mini glue gun. It has a nice little flip up stand and it's super duper light. I like to use the 8-inch Gorilla Glue sticks. That way we don't have to keep inserting the glue. I'm also going to be using some distressed Oxide inks. So Forest Moss. Again, I'm using white because of wedding flowers. Hi, Carolyn. Some ground espresso and a little bit of our seedless preserves for a little pop of color, as we've been doing. So if you did miss any of our video tutorials, we are making playlists on all of our respective pages for you to quickly find the flower camp tutorials and hijinks videos of our end of day socials. Lots of socialization happening this year at camp, and we love it. And we hope you do too. So thank you for joining in. So for our sizes, it's a lot, as you can see from my chart here. Our sepals, we're going to be using 2 different size sepals, one at 3.5 inches and one at 3 inches. We're going to start at the top, and I have them in order as we're going to be making them. And I'm going to actually assemble as I create, as I roll or style the petals. Oh my God, I can't talk. If you watch the Flower Camp After Dark, you'll know why. Petal 1, we have 3 petals at 4 inches wide. Then we're going to go to center number 1. We're throwing these little centers in between our layers for a little bit of texture coming out the sides of your flowers. So be crazy. That's what we're going to be around here. Petal number 1, we're going back to that. We need 2 of them at 3.75 inches, and then we're alternating back to center 1. You need 1 at 3.75. Then we go back to a different petal. We're using petal design number 3, so we're switching it up a little. You need 1 at 3.5 inches, and then again we go back to center 1, 1 at 3.5. Petal 3, we need 1 at 3.25. So again, I have them stacked in order. And then center 1, I'm not sure what I did here, but it is correct. It's 3.42 inches wide. I think I typed in the height when I did it. It still works. We go with it. And then petal 3, we go back to that for 2 of them at 3 inches wide. Oh, my petals are stuck. So you need 2 of them. And then center 2, we have 3 of them. So these are some super fun centers.
That's a lot of layers.
I know.
That's a lot of layers.
3 of them at 2.75.
Maybe I should rethink mine.
And then center 3, 1 at 2.75. So yes, she is super cute. Now, V did see a picture of the completed flower, and definitely you could make this marigold inspired as well, depending on the colors that you utilize. Welcome in from San Diego. Thank you all for joining. Happy Tuesday, we think. We're not sure around here anymore. We're just going to go with it. So thank you again. And we are going to first style our sepals. So I do have a piece of scratch paper here sitting around. We're going to move our petals out of the way. So thank you for joining the fun for Flower Camp 2024. You have 2 tutorials today, and tomorrow we'll be back tomorrow evening for a full lineup of all your camping staff. And the special director's cut. So we're going to add some forest moss to both sides of our sepals. So I'm literally just going to brush it on, just to add a little bit of color variation. Again, depending on your project, maybe you don't like to use sepals or you don't want to ink. That's perfectly okay. I'm just giving you the full experience and you can tweak it to your needs. How's that? All right, so again, both sides, add a little bit of forest moss. It's just going to give you some color variation. Hi, Ileana. Thank you all for hanging out with us. And again, brush on the forest moss. I'm just using finger dabbers. They can be purchased at your local craft store, or I like to purchase on Amazon in bulk. Now, I will continue to use these. So most of these traveled with me. We did open up some new ones as well, just because it holds the ink. So why throw it out until it actually like falls apart? Again, brush on some forest moss for some color toning or shading variation. Just like a real flower, it's going to have some color variations. And for a little bit of craziness, now we're going to add some ground espresso. What? Yep. It's because the artificial greenery I'm using has a hint of brown. So I'm just going to add it to these fun tips here on our sepal. And I'm just going to brush it on. Again, taking the little bit of extra time is totally worth it. Don't you think, Bea?
Yes, it definitely gives that additional detail. I mean, yes, it will add on to the process, but it's totally worth it.
Yeah, I agree. And honestly, if you do it all in, I like to work in stages when I'm creating a bulk amount of flowers. You can just sit and watch TV, hang out with your family, and still be working on your flowers. Put some tunes on, grab some campfire delight, and you are on your way.
Yeah.
Flip it over, and you're going to add a little bit of color again to all the tips. So I'm just going around. Welcome in, everyone. Thank you for joining. Okay, now we can bring in our dowel rod we're going to be using. We're going to be using that skinnier than 1/8 inch dowel rod. So if you have the chart, if you need an updated chart, if you bought one of my earlier packs of dowel rods, I didn't have the Julie on there. I do have this available in the PhotoFabPaperFlower Makers group. In the Files tab, I did post a dowel rod chart, so you can simply print it out. Or if you had dowel rods, you can color code to match ours. So it is the 6-inch one, regardless if you buy the 12-inch dowel rod pack or the 6-inch, it's the one that's not colored. Anything skinnier than a 1/8, a toothpick will work. So we're going to place that dowel rod down in the middle of the petal so you can still see there's a little bit of a gap. So it will have some curl to it. I always like to go at just a little bit of an angle, and I'm right-handed, so my curl's going to come more in from the right. So pinch it up with your thumb and just roll it between your fingers. Mostly here at the tips, you're going to see the curl. Maybe some you want to have just straight on, and that's okay. It's going to have some variation. So you don't have to be perfect when you are rolling your petals, especially because these are underneath your flower. How's everyone doing? What was the best part of yesterday's tutorials? Please let us know in the comments because there were so many good moments.
And spooky moments.
Oh, and spooky. Oh, we had campfire stories, and I think she's still around with us from the campfire stories.
Thanks to our camp director.
We may have to sage the crafter. Yes, please share with all your fellow friends because they don't know what they're missing out here at Flower Camp. Pinch and roll, soothes our soul. So we're just going around with our Julie dowel rod, rolling those sepal petals up. Okay, we're going to set that to the side, which means me right in front here, and we're going to go ahead and start. And we're literally going to style the petal and assemble it as we go. Because there are so many layers, I personally don't want to get confused, and I don't want to confuse you as well. All right, so for 2 of the petals, petal number 1, remember there's 3 at 4 inches wide, so we're going to take 2 of them, stack them together. We're going to take our 1/4 inch green dowel rod, so it is color coded green if you can't really see it. It was me pranking Isaac. Place the dowel rod down in the middle of the petal, and you're going to pinch it up and roll it between your fingers. Okay, so it's going to still have a nice curl, and again, we have a lot of different layers here. So place it down in the middle of the petal, pinch it up with your thumb, let go, and roll it between your fingers. Pinch it up and roll. Pinch it up and roll it between your fingers. So many good moments though. The whistle. I thought when I played the lady crying during the camp director's video, caught him off guard. Yes, he did. That was my goal. Oh, here he comes. And then for our 3rd petal, petal 1 at 4 inches wide, we're going to roll 1 petal up and 1 petal down with our green dowel rod. Place it down in the middle of the petal, pinch it up with your thumb, and roll it between your fingers. You're going to skip the next petal and go to the, roll it up. Skip the petal, roll the petal up. Pinch it up with your thumb and roll it between your fingers. Skip a petal and roll up. We're gonna flip it all the way over so you can simply just roll it all the way around, and then we're gonna start with the ones we didn't roll. Place it down the middle of the petal, thumb on top, index finger underneath, pinch it up and roll. Okay, skip your petal that you rolled, pinch up and roll. Pinch it up and roll. All right, so now you can see we have 1 petal rolled up and this is rolled under. So you can see how they are every other petal. So when I say 1 up and 1 down, you start with 1, you skip the petals, flip it over, and then you roll them up. And it's like magic. All right, so like I mentioned, we're doing it a little bit differently. We're gonna assemble as we style. So for our first layer, we're actually gonna start with the petal we rolled 1 up and 1 down, and then we're gonna set 1 of these petals to the side that are rolled up. So layer 1, petals are rolled up and down, every other one. Because of that, we need to flatten that center So you're going to take your metal ball stylus and roll it right where the petals meet the base. Just a little bit. It's still staying flat. Layer 2, the petals are rolled up. So again, take your metal ball stylus on your flower shaping mat and just roll right around the edge. We don't want to lift it up too much. Take your glue gun, add some hot glue. Julie needs to stand up, and we're going to look at the top 2 petals. So here's an X, and we're going to look at this petal and bring it straight down in between. Straight down, Julie. And press. I have to keep track of where I'm at. Oh, I can use your ruler. That's how you do it. That'll help. All right, so now we're going to go to center 3. Or center 1, I'm sorry, layer 3. You can see it's crazy. We're going to take our 18 gauge floral stem wire, and this is what we're going to use as our dowel rod. We're going to roll these petals up. So you can see they're super skinny. So we're just going to go kind of here at an angle, and we just want some curve to it. So literally just roll it around. It's going to look crazy, but that's what you want. Hi, Joanne. Thank you for joining. Hola la corona. That's how I say it. Pinch and roll it around your piece of 18 gauge floral stem wire. So yeah, so it's going to become even skinnier. So you can see how that roll is taking shape.
That is super thin.
I know. She's a little bit of spiky flower here that we can make her come out in between the layers. So she is a made-up flower in my crazy brain, but this is how we roll. We're going to roll the center where the petals meet the base. It's going to lift the petals up slightly. Isn't it, Rhonda? You want to stay tuned for tomorrow night's flower with Template 9. You're going to love her.
I saw a peek.
Look at a petal, place it in between, and just bring it. Whoops. Why does I keep moving? Oh, God. Julie, get it together. There we go. And you're going to see she's just going to poke out in between the petals. Now we're going to go back to petal number 4. Or petal 1. Oh, my God. Layer 4, petal 1. I need to read better. Jesus. 3/16 blue dowel rod. We're going to roll all these petals up, okay? So we're going petal by petal, assembling, style, and assemble. Place the dowel rod down, pinch it up with your thumb, and roll. Pinch it up and roll. So this has a nice curl. Again, you could definitely style this like a marigold if you use some yellow paper, and Crackling Campfire is my go-to orange for marigolds, and you can blend it from the center out a little bit. Now I do have a marigold template, but definitely if you don't have that, you could use this as well. And we saw yesterday how we made a magnolia inspired flower as well.
There was another flower that they mentioned.
Oh, gardenia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you can definitely utilize Julie's patterns to get a variety.
Yeah. And your large paper flower was gorgeous.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, look at your top petal, look at your 2 petals, and bring it straight down in between. Rotate it to the left or counterclockwise. You can rotate it a little bit or a lot. Layer 5 is petal 1 at 3.75 inches. And we're still going to use that blue dowel rod. Place it down in the middle of the petal, pinch it up and roll. We're going to skip the petal, pinch it up and roll. Skip the petal.
Did you see our camp director?
Oh, I'm sorry, camp director. No Play-Doh today. Skip the petal. Flip the flower or petal all the way over and then roll the petals up. Pinch it up with your thumb and roll. We got the Play-Doh out of the craft room, everyone. Shh. Pinch it up and roll.
Yeah, because somebody didn't clean up their mess.
Pinch and roll. Okay, either way, your petals are one up and one down. Take your metal ball stylus, place it down in the middle of the petal and roll it right where the petals meet the base. Okay. Again, we're going to look at the top two petals. We're going to look at any of the petals. It really doesn't matter. Bring it straight down in between, and press, Julie. Okay, so let's look at her. We want to take her shape. Look at that. She is a super fun shape. Again, this one was designed by our camp counselor, Forever Petals by Ivy.
Yay!
Never too early. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Florist Explorers. Now we're back to center one. Again, we're flip-flopping back and forth between different style petals to show you how you can incorporate all those different petals and centers into one flower. I'm literally using all of them but one petal design here today. We're going to go back to our 18 gauge floral stem wire, and this is center one. This is going to be layer 6, friends. Place it down at an angle. You're going to pinch up and around and roll that skinny little petal around your piece of 18 gauge floral stem wire. Pinch it up and roll. Why not go right from coffee to a campfire delight?
Exactly.
And the fly just landed on my thumb.
Oh my god, that dang fly.
They always, like, if it's not a stink bug in my craft room.
Ooh.
Yeah, I get those. Pinch it up and roll. And then the other day it was a big bumblebee was in.
Ooh.
I was like, what just hit me? And then I figured out what it was. Pinch it up and roll. Again, super skinny. We're just going to take one of our smaller metal ball stylus tools here and roll it right where the petals meet the base. Again, we're adding some texture and different shapes to our flower today by using the centers in between the layers. So look at two petals, look at one of your petals, and just bring it straight down in between and press. Layer 7, we go back to petal number 3, and it's 3.5 inches wide. Now we're going to bring in our precision scissors, and my friend Bally always knows what I do with these. We're going to cut in between each petal towards the center. I like to hug the left side here of the opening and just do a slight little cut. Just enough to get that center smaller, because you can see our center is pretty large here. So slight little cuts towards the center. Oh, welcome in, friends. Thank you for joining us. We know it's midday. You may be working, so we appreciate you watching live or in replay. Thank you for stopping by. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, campers. And you can see those little cuts. Now we're going to take our blue 3/16 inch dowel rod. Oh, shoot. Oh, up. We're going to roll the petals up. I was like, I didn't write it down. Place it down. You can go straight down the stem of that petal. And you can still see we have a nice little gap on either side. Pinch it up and roll. All the petals are rolled up. So since we have such a wide variety of petal shapes here, we're going to have lots of different flowers we can make over the next couple of months. Hi, Yvette. Welcome in, everyone. Thank you for joining and hanging out with us this week at Flower Camp 2024.
Yay! Chrissy's in the house.
Oh, Chrissy, yes. So glad with your work schedule you got to join us. So because we cut little slices in between the petals, we're just going to roll right in the center and lift them up. So we are making a flower using template 9 mini flower. So if you missed our other video tutorials over the past couple of days, they are saved on my page, and I did make a playlist for you. So we're just going to keep rotating it around and look for some gaps. We're going to look for our petal and bring it straight down in between and press. This is layer 7, friends. She's so pretty. She's already getting a beautiful shape to her. Very textured. Layer 8, we're going back to center number 1. Yes. This is 3.5 inches. And we're going to get that piece of 18 gauge floral stem wire and roll the petals up. And if you didn't register again, you still have time to register for our in-person event. You get the exclusive Flower Camp swag and t-shirt with our faces on them. Who doesn't want one of those? Wow. And 7 hours with us. You're going to make a beautiful welcome sign for your tent, your RV, your home, your craft room, wherever you want. Pinch it up and around there. Okay, and then you're just going to roll that center right where the petals meet the base. Ooh, she's standing tall now. Look at her. Okay, we're going to just come down. We're going to rotate around. We're just going to look at 2 petals, bring it straight down in between, and press it with your finger. So you can see those little center ones popping out in between the different layers. And if you choose to stem her, you're going to be able to see them little spiky pieces. Now we're at layer 9. Yes, friends. If you're new here, I do like to use a lot of layers in my flowers. We are going to bring out our precision scissors. Again, these are just from Dollar Tree. Hug the left side of the opening here and just give it a slight little cut in towards the center. One little cut. There's movement in the other room.
Camp director says, "You're doing great, PhotoFab, Julie."
Oh, thank you. And now we're going to roll 1 petal up and 1 petal down. So now we're going to change the diameter of our dowel rod. We're going to switch to our purple 1/8. And you're going to roll 1 up and 1 down. What does that mean again? You're going to roll a petal, skip 1, and every other one, and then we flip it over. And look how curled she is. Skip, pinch it up and roll. Skip, pinch and roll. Skip. If you want to skip while you're rolling, you can do that too. Pinch and roll. Flip it all the way over, and now we roll the petals up. It's much easier to roll your petals up, so that's why we do this technique. There's my back. Pinch and roll. Every other one. Pinch it up with your thumb, let go, and roll it between your fingers, friends. All right, oops. And now we're going to roll the center again. We cut in between each petal. So you're just going to go right in the center and roll. Press pretty hard to lift those petals up in the air. We're going to add some glue right in that very center. You don't need a lot. And we're just going to rotate it around. I like to look for where there's any little gaps. Look at a petal and bring it straight down in between and press. So she's full. That was layer number 9. We still have a pretty wide opening here. Layer 10 is center number 1. Yes, we're going back to center number 1. We're going to pull out our 18 gauge floral stem wire, and this is the 3.42 inch wide one. I like to go at an angle again. You're going to pinch it up with your thumb and roll it around that wire. It will look crazy, and that's what it's supposed to. Hi, Olga. Oh my gosh. Hi, friend. I am having a blast here. We are having so much fun. We're working a lot, but we also have lots of laughs in between and so much good food. I think the 10 pounds I lost, I'll be gaining right back. Pinch it up and roll. Thank you, Vanessa. And again, because this is a smaller center, we don't have to cut here, so you can just literally roll right where the petals meet the base. And we're just going to, again, look for any gaps where we want to have that little spiky come through right there and press.
Yvette is asking about your dowels and how she can get a hold of some.
They will be back online by the end of the week. Most likely on Saturday, I'll put them back, or Friday at the latest. Friday or Saturday, just because I'm not in state to ship them. I did not want to have them available and you had to wait for a long time for them. So yeah, I'll post to let you know when they're all back online and we will have them available for you. So thank you for asking. Now for the rest of the flower petals, we're going to work from the center out because it's a lot easier. Yes, Kathy, the pee-pee. Palm push. We don't need that technique here today with this flower. But that is a classic move, let me tell you.
The palm push. Some of us use it properly, others not so much.
Okay. So now we're going to flip our stack of petals that we have left over. And we're going to work from the center out. So yes, these crazy centers. You know I'm going to make a flower with all these. Hint. This is center 3 at 2.75. Okay, all we need to do is roll the center. And then we're going to fold it up. So we're just going to start keeping these in order how we're going to go. Or actually I should put it down here. Well, keep it there. Now we have center 2. So we have 3 of these at 2.75. We just need to peel them apart. Look at these. They're so much fun. Hi, Nathan. So we are stacking these 2. Now we're going to be crazy.
Ooh, I like crazy.
I know. We're going to take our little precision scissors here, and we're going to keep them stacked. So you can see there's kind of a larger gap in between some of them. So again, you're just going to do a slight little cut towards the center, and it's like every 3 petals you can see a bigger gap. Slight little cut. 3 petals, slight little cut towards the center. 3 petals. Just a tiny little sliver. Three petals. I hear crunching from the other room.
Florence the Express is having a snack break. Sounds like it.
All right, so 2 of these of center 2. We're going to separate these. Ooh. And literally all you need to do is roll the center. And then we're just going to put them together. And then we have 1 more of these. And all we need to do is roll the center. What? Look how easy that styling is. And then we have 2 of petal 3 left at 3 inches.
Ocean Explorers is eating Funyuns. Funyuns. As if we didn't just have breakfast.
I know.
But no judgment, no judgment.
No judgment at all. And now we're going to cut in between each petal with our precision scissors again, just because we need to get that center smaller and our flower starts to close up. So just hug the left side of that opening. Hi Lorraine, welcome in. Again, this could be marigold inspired, almost a carnation as well, however you want to look at it. She's just super duper textured. She's not hard to make, it's just a lot of layers and following it along. So that's why we're styling and then assembling it right away. So your paper florist teacher here doesn't, and camp counselor doesn't get confused, and hopefully I'm not confusing all of you. Okay, so slight little sliver cuts in towards the center with your precision scissors. Are your dogs crying, or is that something outside?
A bird.
Oh. Roll up with the 1/8 inch dowel rod. I hear somebody making noises. Place it straight down that stem, and you're just going to pinch up with your right thumb, let go, and roll it between your fingers. So she's going to have a nice little roll to her. Okay, place it down. Pinch it up and roll. Pinch it up and roll. Pinch and roll. Director?
Yes.
Finish my sentence. Pinch and roll.
Pinch and roll and do it slow.
No,
Soothe your soul.
sorry.
This isn't Family Feud. Pinch.
I tried.
Oh no, my live signal stopped. Are we back, friends? Oh my god. Or maybe it's just my computer. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's
Right,
my
you're holding
computer.
it up? Uh-oh. Now it went off. Says it should resume shortly.
Yeah, I'm back on my phone.
Okay.
All right, friends. It looks like it stopped working for a moment. And we're back.
Okay, there it is, yeah.
All right, pinch and roll. All the petals up. I don't know what happened there. See, it just doesn't happen in Pennsylvania. Oh my God, it's, what's her name? From our campfire stories. What's her name?
Llorona.
La Llorona.
She's been affecting this craft room all morning.
I know, we're going to have to
so-
sage the room, I think. All right, we're going to roll the centers here with our metal ball stylus to lift them up. So again, we're working from the center out. So we started from the smallest, and then we're going to make our way, assemble it here, and then glue it into the center of our petal, and then add our last layers. I know, Nathan, it lost signal for a moment. See, it's happening. I don't know what's going on. So we're going to start with our smallest one. You're going to fold it up in half, and then you're just going to fold it back and forth. Here's your campfire flames. Look at that. We're going to add some glue to the bottom. And a little bit around that that edge here. Now we're going to glue into our next one. These are the ones we cut in half, or cut with the little slits between the petals, every third petal. Okay, all you do then is fold it up and around, gather it together, and squeeze her. Push it together. It's like a badminton. Birdie. Add some glue, and again glue it right in. Right in. Fold it up and back. Hi Esther, welcome in. Oh no. Nathan. Well, if they don't, you can tell me on Friday.
Babe, you know lechusa?
Lechusa? What about lechusa?
Nathan says you gotta tell her about lechusa next.
This is the third petal of center 2. This one we didn't cut in between each petal. Just place it right in the center. And fold the petals up and around. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I am Julie, your camp counselor for today's first session, and immediately following we are going to hop on over to Camp Counselor Forever Petals by V's Facebook page for our second tutorial today. And she's going to be making a large paper flower with template 9. We're going to add glue to the bottom. And then you can choose either one, it's okay, it doesn't matter, they're both the same. Glue it into the center, and then fold the petals up and around. Now, while we have it right here, we're going to add a little bit of seedless preserves.
Jeanette.
I know. Oh God, it's probably me.
Jeanette says that you brought her with your campfire Ouija board.
It wasn't a Ouija board.
So we added right here, and we still have our last petal of petal 3 at 3 inches wide. We're just going to hold the top and add glue to the bottom.
I think we have a raccoon in the house.
Ricky the raccoon, we hear him crumbling, crackling paper. Fold the petals up and around. So you can see how wide that center is now, and it's going to fill in nicely there. Or it should. Add some hot glue. And now, oh, I cracked there for a second. We're going to just kind of look at one of these and look at a side petal. Hold it there for a moment. Ooh, she's so pretty. But we still have one of our larger petals left. This is petal number 1 at 4 inches wide. It's rolled up. So with the petals rolled up, you're going to just roll your metal ball stylus a little bit. You're going to flip it over so the petals are showing under now. Add glue. I like to do this technique. It gives her a little bit of height and fullness, especially if you are stemming her. Flip the flower over, and we're going to look at the top 2 petals. Choose a petal and bring it straight down. We eyeballed it there. And now look at the height she just gave. So that's a technique that you can use to get some height out of your flowers. She's super beautiful at 4 inches. Yeah, I love this one. I love them all. They all have a little bit of me in them, a little personality, a little crazy fun. And now we're going to add a little bit of purple, and then we just have to add our sepals.
And how wide is she?
She's 4 inches.
Ooh.
She's a little bit curvy and spiky, like her designer. And now you can brush on a little bit of purple. She's fluffy like her designer. And just add a little bit of color. So if when you're using like the Nina Bright White or Astra Brights now, to add a little bit of color so it's not so stark white or creamy, I like to add just after the flower is assembled. Just brush it on. You don't have to be careful. Look at it from the back, because if you're using her in a bouquet, you want to make sure. And then I usually try and make sure that's center, and that's why we did those before we glued it in there. We added some color. Again, look at it from the sides. And the purple just adds a little bit of color, a hint. And then to tone down the purple, I know, Nathan, you don't tone it down in Texas, but this girl has to a little bit. We're going with some ground espresso. And again, we're just going to brush it on just a little bit again to give it some color variation. And it highlights the shape of those beautiful petal designs. You may ask, where do I come up with inspiration? I'm not so sure. Especially when designing, I kind of just sit in PowerPoint and play around with shapes. And that's one of my favorite things to do. Put some music on and play around and see what I come up with. And I have no idea how a flower will turn out when we're designing at all. I just kind of sit there then in our machine's design space and I put the petals together and pray it works. If not, we tweak it a little. And again, I always say the craziest shapes make the most beautiful flowers. And look at her. She has a beautiful shape. We added those little pieces in there. So you're going to see them, that center one, poking out in there. So you can definitely use a different color if you want to do a little bit of an ombre. Or you can really ink just those little spiky tips so that way you see them. But you will see them coming out at all different directions. So it's different way we can design our petals. And then by us rolling one petal up and one petal down, again, it's going to give it a little bit more height in between the layers as well. But she's a nice like like half of a circle shape. Half sphere. And then all we need to do, yeah, Linda, we were a little slow.
Yeah. Moving a little slow this morning.
Yeah, so hence we were a little late. We apologize. The flower camp after dark.
Yeah.
Hijinks were so much fun. We hope you enjoyed them because we loved all the laughs. We're going to just roll the sepal petals with the petals rolled up with our metal ball stylus. There's two different sizes. Again, I like to use 2 sepals. You can use whichever you prefer. With the larger one, we add the glue with the petals rolled under. We're going to flip it over and glue it right there in between the petals of that last layer we added. And I do have a glue string there, so we're just going to try and get that girl out of there. Yeah, Sharon, I think this one would be beautiful at a super size on that flower stand. And then you could do, if you have the ones from the freestanding workshop where we made it with extra stems on it, you could add the magnolia inspired one from yesterday on the 2 little 4-inch ones. So yeah, different ways. And we'll definitely be using these templates to make super size flowers and micro mini flowers over the next month or so. We're going to bring our smaller sepal down in between and press. Again, always look at her from the different angles. If you want to adjust the size of the sepal, maybe you want it poking out even more. Maybe you want one or none. It depends on your project for sure. She's beautiful. And by adding those sepals under, we gave her some height, especially if you're not going to be stemming this. And again, with our template 9, we have 2 different leaf styles. So we have more of the traditional size, and again, I like to add the forest moss, a little bit of brown, and then seedless preserves. I've been loving that look of them. And then I like to squeeze the tips, and then you can also use your metal ball stylus to lift them up because no leaf is ever flat in outside. At least not in Pennsylvania. And then the same with here. You can squeeze the tips. You can also flip them over, oops, and roll it so it's not so flat again at different parts. But I had styled these originally. They just got a little flat from traveling in my carry-on. My 30-pound backpack, I felt like. And then you can combine the 2 different leaves in a project, but so beautiful. Some of the other 2 templates, I provide a single leaf, so if you just want to add that onto your stem, you could. But that is my version of Template 9 Mini Flower from the Flower Camp Mini Flower Bundle for 2024. So We appreciate you hanging out with us. I hear Julie, camp counselor, or PhotoFab Julie, kicked it off. I love that he gave me that name. And we are going to end this one, and we're going to head over to our second activity session on Forever Petals by V's page. So we just give us a few minutes and we'll swap out our supplies for your large flower tutorial. So we're going to hand it over to her in just a moment. Oh, thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And what a great time to find me during this crazy flower camp. Lots of laughs. And yes, I do giggle a lot normally, but there's some extra giggles happening when you get the creator's juice that we have after hours at camp. Or sometimes during the hours. So thank you all for joining us. And we're here to inspire you, inspire the uninspired, or create the uncreated.
Yeah.
And Campspiration. We're here for you all. So if you do have any questions, please let us know, and we'll see you soon. Bye, friends and campers.